of my mentor, and seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
Milwaukee Black Talk lives here on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL Milwaukee, and WGKB Waukesha.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Manan Sabir, the Grapevine, and you are tuning in and picking some grapes on the award-winning The Truth 101.7. Glad we in this building today, man. I'm glad we're in this building. I hope y'all feel my energy from the weekend. It was a long weekend, man. It was long. Hope you are enjoying your day. I hope your day is going very fruitful, and hopefully you can get back to work doing what you need to do to support your family. I'm glad we are all in the building because it is Mindful Motivation Monday, and this whole week is Black Adventure Week for me. I've deemed it Black Adventure Week, so we're gonna have adventure everything. And before I say anything else, I want to ask you one big question. I want you to let it settle in real quick. Don't answer too fast. When was the last time you did something for the first time? When's the last time you did something for the first time? Let's let that breathe a little bit. When is the last time you did something for the first time? Not a new show to binge, not a new restaurant down the street, downtown Milwaukee, on Water Street, wherever. I mean something that really, really stretched you. Somewhere you have never been. When was the last time you did something for the first time? Something that made your heart just beat different, right? I've been pondering this question all weekend. And I'm like, what have I done lately that really made my heart beat in a different drum? Like, when was the last time I did something for the first time and felt a huge amount of excitement? It's crazy. Something that made your heart go, okay, man, jump out of your chest. I remember my daddy having, what I mean by that though, I remember my father having trained us in this. It was one day, the training was hard. I mean, we probably ran a good 10, 12 miles. And, oh, man, I was like, man, my heart is about to crash. I mean, we already 3 hours into a workout, 3 fighting. We entered the gym, and he already says, put the gloves on. I was like, all right, this is not the way this is supposed to happen today. I thought I was just going to be, warm. You know how you get into the gym, you warm up, and boom. But when's the last time, that type of heartbeat, when's the last time you did something for the first time? When's the last time you stood somewhere new and thought, I can't believe I'm here. I cannot believe I'm here. For a lot of us, the answer is, I can't remember. And by 4 o'clock today, I want to just go home. I want to change. Why? Because all my sisters and all my brothers out there, I need to start a confession. I caught myself doing it, really. I really caught myself doing it this weekend. You see somebody diving off a boat in the middle of nowhere, swimming. Like, I seen on this Red Bull, it was not a commercial, but like this Red Bull YouTube piece, this lady, she dove from like however many feet high into a net in the middle of the ocean. Guess what this net was surrounded by? Y'all couldn't guess. Sharks. Now, if she would have missed, sharks would have ate her up. But that's what I'm saying. Like, something that makes your heart just pound. And she did it. She came out the water. She was like, yeah. Somebody on the side of a mountain, 20,000 feet up. Somebody backpacking through a country you can't even pronounce, like somewhere in the middle of Mongolia, on the side of like a country on the side of Mongolia, whatever country that is, Bhutan or something like that, right? Yeah, for black people, there's this little voice that goes, "That's a white people thing. That's a them thing." And not for us. I'm killing that voice today. I'm going to kill that voice today on this show live. Because here's the truth. We're going to prove all afternoon. To pull the explorer. We're going to prove that we need to pull the explorer out of you. Exploration is not handed out by race. The mountain just doesn't check your color at the base camp. We're going to talk about base camp and mountain climbing and stuff like that. The ocean doesn't ask where your people are from. The air is not asking, man, is this person Chinese? Nah. Do they speak Mandarin? The air doesn't, there's no forgiveness for those things. They all are here to serve us, and we're here to work our servitude. Work our servitude off. Work their servitude off. So think about it. And I mean, literally, I want y'all to think about it, because this is a thinking show today. This is an adventure show. But we're talking, what I'm aiming to do is we're going to not just discuss adventure, but adventure is a part of real life mental health. Expanding the mind to make the world feel small. We got to do that. And I mean literally. And this is science. This is science. So we're gonna tackle this. There's a gene called DRD4-7R, and scientists nicknamed it. And you wonder, think about this. Scientists nicknamed this thing the wanderlust gene. It's a dopamine receptor gene that if you carry it, your brain pulls less feel-good chemicals from sitting still. So in order for you to feel alive, you have to go get it. You got to go after something. It's you activate this gene through newness, through something being brand new, through movement, through feeling like you're alive, through seeing something you've never seen ever in your life. And scientists measured this gene. Only 1 in 5 people on Earth carry it. Only 1 in 5 people on Earth carry it. And here's what stops me dead in my tracks. When researchers mapped it, the people who carry it the most are descendant from the ones who migrated the furthest. Y'all want to guess? Y'all want to guess? That's right. The greatest human journey came out of, come on, y'all, Africa. Came out of Africa, across the entire planet. Came out of Africa, expanded from one little area. I mean, Africa's not little, but think about the spot where we expanded from, and we expanded everywhere. everywhere. And that was through restlessness. That was through knowing that we needed to be a wanderlust. But we had to find something else. We had to find something new. We had to find a place to go. And how we did it, we moved, we walked, we got out of our comfort zone. I'm pretty sure we were sitting there like, I don't know, the sun is kind of shining nice, whatever. But we had to go. It was time. So that itch that you feel right now, there has got to be more than these same blocks type of feeling. Like, man, I'm on the same block. I'm in the same city. I'm in here. Where you're sitting right now, there has to be more than that. And that's what we're exploring. That's what we're thinking about. So it's not a white thing. That's one of the oldest, most traveled pieces of code in the human body. And it walked out of Africa. It started with us. When someone says adventure is in your blood, tell them scientists literally found it right there, that wanderlust gene. So if it's in our blood, why do we let somebody convince us that it wasn't? Because when we come back, I want to talk about a man who's been to literally the ends of the earth. And he did it on camera. And why a black man in his 50s decided that was the assignment. Why? That is the question. That is one of the reasons why we do what we do is because of this gene. So I want to make sure on this segment, on these segments, right here on The Truth, 1017, we answer this question. Why are we pushed? Why should we push ourselves beyond where we're sitting right now? We're going to take a break. We're going to come right back in 3 minutes. You'll be amazed to find out who actually went to the ends of the earth on The Truth, 1017.
Milwaukee Public School families, the first day of school is Tuesday, September 1st, and there's still time to enroll. MPS offers programs to fit every learner, including bilingual, Montessori, special education, and more. All MPS students receive free breakfast and lunch. Enroll today at milwaukeepublicsschools.org/enrollment or visit MPS Student Services at 5225 West Vliet Street, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Thank you for choosing MPS.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Heat makers, killer. Woo. Let's do it. This is it right here. Come on, man. I feel good, man. Diplomat.
Yes.
Come on. Yeah.
Woo. That's right. Man, Dipset all day. Woo. Man, you got to pull another one out later on. Listen, y'all. This is the Grapevine. I'm your host, Manan Sabir. And you're on the award-winning The Truth 1017 Radio. That's right. And we're answering the question, when's the last time you did something for the first time? When is the last time you did something for the first time? So we're back on the Black Adventure Week. That's right. I deemed this week Black Adventure Week. You know, first week of August, before kids go back to school. You got to have an adventure. Either take them with you or do something by yourself. But this is Black Adventure Week, unofficially. For all the Truth Nation, all the hosts, y'all got to go hard now. I want to talk about Will Smith on Black Adventure Week today. Not all day. And not the thing that you're thinking about. We're not, I know it's August, but we're not talking about August. Leave that to the side. I want to talk about where this man has physically been, and it's pretty much staggering to me. It's for real staggering. And because why he did it is the whole lesson here. So it starts with National Geographic. He has a series called Welcome to Earth. And in that one show, he crossed 34 countries and 7 continents. And let me actually list what this man did, because I want y'all to understand. He rappelled down into an active volcano in the South Pacific, Vanuatu, in the South Pacific. So it's a country there. Small, very small country. Molten lava exploding around them to plant sensors inside the volcano with this volcanologist. And then he rode a deep water submersible 3,300 feet to the bottom of the ocean. A place so dark you can barely see in front of your face. No human beings have been there. He swam with manta rays in the Maldives. He walked in the Namibia desert. He got dropped by helicopter onto a glacier in Iceland. He ran whitewater rapids to teach himself to read the wild. And then this year, season two, he did it again. Bigger and better. 26,000 miles, 100 days from the South Pole to the North Pole, Antarctica, the Amazon, the Himalayas, African deserts, the Pacific Islands, the Arctic ice. I mean, this man did it. Now, y'all can say what you want to say about Will Smith. Honestly, let me sidebar this. Y'all can say what you want to say about Will Smith. He slapped old boy. He's with, and he had it probably. And y'all can fill in all the blanks. But one thing he is not afraid to do is to sign that waiver form. Like, man, this can be a little risky. And a lot of the things he did was a little risky. So, and he literally did everything. But here's what amazes me is that he has enough money as almost dang near a billionaire. I'm not counting his pockets, but he ain't got to work. So he can live on a yacht, 300-foot yacht for the rest of his life, the rest of his natural life. He can go and do red carpets all over the world. He can private everything, private chef, private this, him and his kids, do whatever he want. Never be uncomfortable at all. Private bunker if something goes wrong. And he keeps choosing a volcano, the Amazon, the bottom of the ocean, glaciers. And why? Why? You remember the question that I just asked you? Why? The question was, when was the last time you did something for the first time? When was the last time you did something for the first time? So, for him, here's his why. In his own words, and this is I think the mindful part of it. This is the part where Mindful Motivation Mondays really comes into play. Is I know you're listening, you're like, man, why is he telling me this? There's a reason. I think we gotta God places it on our hearts to do this, because I'm looking at, before I go into his reason, I'm looking at a video on one of the social media pages, and I see some girls fighting. I mean, they're scrapping, and it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're scrapping a lot. And they're all in the construction barricades, and it's just going down. But what I realized, and someone mentioned this to me, is that we do these little things that we feel like mean something when the world is so big. It's almost like we're taking these pebbles, and I'm gonna remind you about this pebble. We take this energy, and the energy is like a pebble. It's as large as a pebble. It's on a dirt road, and we keep just kicking the pebble down the dirt road, looking down at the pebble rather than looking at the entire universe. Now, if you think about it, from the end of the universe to that pebble, how large is that universe? That pebble is so insignificant. And we're thinking about the pebble. We continue to think about the pebble. It's foul the way that video played out. So, back to Will Smith. I'm going to tell you. He says he's uncomfortable with water. He's afraid of it. And he keeps going back to water. Like, all the places that he's been contain water outside of the volcano. And the volcano is liquid. It's hot. He had to quote his grandmother when someone asked him about why he continues to do that. And he said his grandmother told him God placed the greatest things in life on the other side of your worst fears. Y'all, think about this. God placed the greatest things in life on the other side of your worst fears. That is absolutely genius. Cheers to his grandmother. Whoever, man, cheers to Will Smith. Cheers to your grandmother. I got to say, that's it. That's the whole thing. Time to wrap up the show. No, I'm just kidding. He's not chasing danger. He's not chasing danger. He's chasing what's behind the fear. Every single trip, the fear was the door. The fear was the door, was the barrier. For him, he's chasing what is behind the fear. I remember a soccer player tells me, hey, if you have a defender in front of you, don't look at the defender. Look behind the defender because it's so much space. It's so much space in this world. So we have to catch what he's modeling because this matters for us specifically. Peace is not the absence of pressure. Peace is not the absence of pressure. Peace is what you earn on the far side of the thing that scared you. This man is a literal billionaire, basically. And he decided the assignment for the back half of his life, he's basically at the end. He's 50-something years old. The back half of his life was to keep walking into fear, into purpose, on camera. Like a lot of this stuff, if we could feel his legs, they were shaking through the camera. So for the rest of us, we had to watch him do it as a black man, as a black person. And he did it in the very most extreme places on earth. He put himself in frame on purpose at 50-something years old. At 50-something years old, we're not in that frame. And that's exactly where we're going next. We're going to go there next. Because it's easy for a movie star to do it. But let's talk about our kids. Right here in Milwaukee. And a number about passports. We're going to talk about passports. That made me put my hot chocolate down. Yeah, I got hot chocolate right here. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about our kids and passports when we come back in 3 minutes on the award-winning Truth 101.7.
Wisconsin State Fair turns 175 this summer, and we only get better with age. Join us for 11 days of fun, iconic traditions, grand champion moments, and food that's absolutely worth the hype. Celebrate 175 years together and get your tickets today at wistatefair.com. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by T-Mobile, August 6th through 16th. We'll see you there.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way, improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to healthcare and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Boy, I'm going down. I'm going down. 'Cause you ain't around, baby. My whole world's upside down. Sleep don't come easy.
Yes, yes.
Boy, please
Believe me. Yes. Since you've been gone. Yeah, you welcome back. You are welcomed back to the truth, the award-winning, the Truth 101.7 radio, and this is the Grapevine. I'm your host, Manan Sabir. We picking some grapes. We are picking some grapes. We are picking some grapes. Okay, so this segment I've been wanting to do all week, and I need my working mothers, aunties, big sisters locked in, because this one's actually for us to decide something. Aunties, uncles, cousins, brothers, this is something for us to decide. Here's a number only about 34 Black Americans hold a valid passport. 34 Black Americans hold a valid passport. Compare that to 42 of white Americans, 55% of Hispanic Americans. We are last by a lot. Only a third of us hold the single document that unlocks the rest of the entire planet. And before anybody calls in, if you call in mad, this is not because we don't want to go. A lot of the barriers are actually real. The passport is $165 just to apply. There's the fear, I think for us, there's the fear around racism abroad. There's the fact that we rarely see ourselves in travel pictures. Rarely see our brain kind of files it under like it's not for me. Those are actually real. And I'm not good vibing past all of that because, like I'm an optimistic person. But those are real. Absolutely real. Man, we were taught to and have been prioritizing the fear over what we can change that week. So let me play before we go to the next thing. Let me play something for you with Will Smith. Let's play that.
So what exactly was that ceremony? Like, what does it signify?
Have you seen any fish run around here now since you walked out?
Right. Yeah, no.
You look at the corals, they're dead. The whole reef area is closed until the fish return.
So this acts basically as a signal to anyone that might come around to not fish this area.
Yes. This is our food source. Without healthy coral reefs, we will have nothing.
Y'all see that? I mean, yeah. Listen, and Guru, you're right. Mr. Bhatti whatever you want to say. He had some demons to shake. Yeah. Everybody got him. And he probably got a gang load of them. And this is a way to do it. But it's not about him. It's about us. Like, where are we going as a people? And not only do we own certain categories because a lot of the adventure came from us, but we also have sold those categories to other people. So we have to do what? We have to reclaim this genetic code that is intuitive, that is inherent inside of us. That is looking for us to say, all right, you know what? Where are you going to go? Like, for example, yes, I've been on a mountain. I've been to a lot of mountains. I've been to a mountain that was straight up a volcano and looked inside and went inside a little bit. All that sulfur, yes, been there. It was scary. It was completely scary. Walking up the mountain at the base of the mountain, you're like, okay, this is cool. But then all of a sudden, like, you got to put your mask on. And then you start doing what? You start feeling like you start feeling the atmosphere change and also the chemicals in the air change. That is real life. That is real life. Like, if you don't recognize that you have the opportunity on this really large world, to operate in your truth in this large, vast land that our ancestors traversed, then we're doing them and doing us a disservice if you haven't done it. And I think we're going to talk about it later on. We're really going to talk about, like, if, yes, Will Smith, multimillionaire, did his thing, whatever, got money to do it. But you can do that right here in Wisconsin. If you're from Wisconsin, for my people that are in Georgia or listen over in some of my folks in Somalia, whatever, if you can do that right where you stand. I was talking to one of my guys from Somalia, and I asked him, I was like, so you went back? He said, yeah, I went back to Somalia. And I was like, so what is it like there? He was like, oh, it's nice. I was like, okay. Like this, he said, the city is nice and everything. All right, cool. I was like, so what's city life like? He was like, well, we have hyenas. What? Y'all have hyenas? Yeah, it said they walk around. They're like, it's like open air in some areas, some parts of the city that he's from. It's open season. Like, they're there, not open season eating people, but they have hyenas. And he said one day he was walking around and hyena was kind of following him. Now they want to find whether or not they can trap you or not. He just went to somebody's house, knocking on the door. They let him in. Now, I'm not going to say that is the type of adventure I'm looking for. But I am going to tell you that is a journey. That is an adventure that happens. So now let me show you. I got to show you the other side of the passport. I have to show you the other side of the passport because this one will sit right here, right on your chest. And I'm not going to show you this video yet. I'm just going to describe it. There's a stretch of water between, and if you ever been to the bottom of Spain, there's a stretch of water between Morocco and this place called Ceuta. It's a little piece of Spanish territory on the coast of North Africa. And people swim it. They swim it in the dark. They swim it in the cold. Some with nothing but an inner tube, or a plastic jug to stay afloat. It's the closest point between Africa and Spain. And I think it's about 3.1 miles. So you got the Strait of Gibraltar, and then you have like this little area. It's like a little point, and people swim it to get to Spain. That's how far it is. Not far at all. So, but people do it now because some of them are swimming with nothing but an inner tube or a plastic jug to stay afloat, fleeing what's behind them, swimming towards a fence, swimming towards rocks, towards a chance, towards life that they cannot get any other way. Let's play that video real quick. I'm gonna show you what this young man was doing. He wound up swimming with just, I guess, one other thing. He had this little piece of device to hold his phone, and he's showing you him swimming from between Morocco and Spain. Yeah. He's literally showing you what he's doing. Now, that's a lot of 3 miles. That's a lot of swimming. So now I'm gonna hold that next to us, because here's the ache of it. Those swimmers would have given anything for the document that we're talking about, for a passport that's unclaimed in America, unclaimed by our kids, unclaimed by you if you don't have one. And we can just walk right into a passport office, pay the fee, and legally the whole world just opens up. The whole world. They're swimming through the dark for what we won't drive 10 miles to apply for. I'm not coming down on anyone, but we have to think about our privilege. Because that's the same muscle, the will to move, to not stay put, to cross towards something better, to remember that wanderlust gene that's inside of us that I described at the top of the show. That gene that walked out of Africa. And that's it. Some of us spend that drive on a coral reef. Some spend it just to survive the night. Some use that gene to cross Africa into Spain. And some of us, with the legal door standing wide open, aren't spending it at all. And I need y'all to let that be the last time that we find out that that's what we're going to do. We got to chill out with that. We're going to talk about the teen takeovers and what we can do with a passport when we come back in 3 minutes on the award-winning Truth 101.7.
I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flySSHF.org and ask for an application.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Hey Joe, where you going with that gun in your hand?
Hey, welcome back to the Grapevine. I'm your host, Manan Sabir. And we're almost to the other side of the Grapevine. But we're picking some more grapes. And I gotta talk about these teen takeovers, man, because they continue to happen. We just not publishing them, but there's a few videos. There's a few videos. One came across my desk, but y'all seen them. They're happening everywhere. Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit. Yes, and our young folks are here too. For real, our young folks still doing it. Down in Atlanta, it got so big, the city gave two young girls, $50,000, a $50,000 grant to two 17-year-olds. And God blessed them. God, please bless them. Because they're looking to use that 50 G's to build safe spaces so teens can have some place to be. $50,000 to give kids a room. There's a lot to say about that 50, because I know a few people in Atlanta that have spent 50 on whatever, on literally whatever. So that's $50,000. And let me do the math. Let me do some math out loud, because I want you to feel it. I really want y'all to feel it. Think about what gets spent in this city on a single month, on the scene. Cigar lounge on Friday, bottle service on Saturday, nice dinner, fit for the gram, fit for the gym, ticket to the show, the day party, a good 3 days adds up. Plus, if you add up them 3 days times 3 weekends, a grown folks turn up in Milwaukee, it could get serious, because Milwaukee got a lot to do now. It does. But that number, 3 weekends, just think about that number for 3 weekends. So imagine you spending $400 a weekend. Just, let's take a number. $400 per weekend. $400 is a plane ticket and a place for a teenager to go while they land in that city. I'm talking about overseas. It can be an overseas small C, or it can oversee large C. But it's a plane ticket for a teenager who's never left Wisconsin. And I'm gonna tell you how that fits in. My father, God bless his soul, said one day, like a month before we were supposed to do this, he said, hey y'all, we got to start getting ready to go to London. I was like, London? I'm like, yeah, right. We're going to London? Man, I'm 10 years old. He's like, yeah, we're going to go to London. We didn't have a whole lot of money, but he's dug up some money, worked for it, whatever he had to do. and he got 3 plane tickets, bought us tickets to London, my brother and I. And school was out June 14th. June 15th, we were on the plane to London for 3 months. Now, for 2 young kids who have never been on a plane at age 10 and 13, that is absolutely amazing. And it opened up my eyes to the degree that I could not stop traveling. It was like he turned on this gene, and it was like, go, get out of here. And I chased that feeling every time I travel. I can go to Kettle Moraine, Lapham Peak, and that is the fulfillment of that wanderlust gene. So there's a kid, that's looking for us, that's looking for someone who has the means, the resources, organizations who have the means and the resources to do exactly that. That's a kid standing on soil in Ghana, in Mexico, in Canada, in Jamaica, Grenada, all them places. Straight up. Mexico City, or just getting on the plane for the first time in their life and looking down at the clouds and realizing the world is bigger than their block. I want to play a video real quick because this is exactly what a teen takeover is. Yep. Exactly what a teen takeover is. So imagine 100 people got Pooh Shiesty mask on, uniforms, whatever they want to call it a uniform, you can call it a uniform. Whatever you want to do. And if this is in the Dells, I guess it's in the Dells. They had a whole big convention, and it's probably whatever it is. It could be something really good. I mean, it's no doubt about it. But these are some young people. Because apparently, if I had a family, I wouldn't want to be out there in some, in a parka. I'm not gonna do that. And dressed up like my boys sliding down a water slide. That's not me. But it could be you. It's all good. But just think about it. We have the time. We have the money. Imagine we're spending it every weekend on experiences that are going to evaporate. These experiences are going to evaporate by Monday. And that's no problem. It is an experience. But in terms of culture, how are you handing that experience, that life, to someone as legacy? So the takeover isn't a money problem. It's a direction problem. It's that little pebble that we're putting our energy into. Those kids have energy and they have nowhere to put it. We got resources and we've been taught to point them at the lounge instead of the launch pad. We've been taught to, you know what? Let's go to the cigar bar. Cool. Let's go to the club over here. That's cool. No doubt about it. I mean, everybody has their own thing. They should be able to experience their own experiences. But from a people's perspective, we have to think there has to be some type of different type of thinking, a different way to make things happen. We have to allow ourselves to work with our teens in terms of the teen takeovers and show them something completely different. Now, why do we think this way? Why is the individual weekend the default and the passport the fantasy? Why does the passport have to be the fantasy? It's not an accident either. It's not an accident that there's barriers to purchasing a passport. The barriers are made for people who are of color not to receive a passport. And it's the craziest thing in the world. I remember at the Juice Kitchen, I used to ask kids all the time, man, do you have a passport? All right, look, here's what you do. Go down to the post office. Get a passport application. Let's fill it out together with your parents. Fill it out. Get your picture. Turn it in. Get the supporting documents. Very simple. Very simple. So, but none of this is an accident. It's not an accident. I'm not going to necessarily blame it on the system, but there's a system at play to keep certain people out. That's something we're taught, and it goes deeper. It goes way deeper than money. It goes all the way to how we were told to raise our children. And that's next. I don't want anybody to go anywhere. We'll be back in 3 minutes on the award-winning The Truth 1017.
Educators Credit Union is more than a place to manage your money. They're where your financial possibilities take shape. They're more than transactions. They're conversations about your financial goals. More than numbers, they're community advocates who support free, local events that are accessible to all. They foster community because we are stronger together. Educators Credit Union is people helping people. Become a member at ECU.com. Insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility required.
Each blood pressure check, each clear answer, each caught it early moment is why we show up. From unexpected nights in the ER to therapy that helps you get your strength back, step by step. We stand ready, quietly preparing, focused, and guided by one promise: to be fully devoted to you. Ascension, Wisconsin. Advanced care. Devoted to you.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Milwaukee Black Talk lives here on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269 DL Milwaukee, and WGKB Waukesha.
My old boy from the point, but I'm from Southwest. And every now and then I get put to the test. But I can't be stopped, cause I gotta come through. Ain't got no gun, but I got my...
Welcome back to the Grapevine. I'm your host, Manan Sabir. And you're on the award-winning The Truth, 101.7 Radio. It's 3 o'clock. It's Black Adventure Week. Mindful Motivation Monday. And now we got to get practical because I don't do inspiration without instructions. I can't do inspiration without instructions. I already hear the excuse. That's beautiful. Will Smith. We talking about Will Smith. I'm not Will Smith. We talking about how he went to different parts of the world, did his thing, came back to his home life, his mansion, and all that stuff. But you're thinking, I got a job, I got kids, a car note, and that's good. That's perfect. Because adventure was never about the size. Adventure is a decision, not a budget. It's not a mountain. It's a direction. It's a direction, and that's what I'm aiming to give you. We are a people who came out of a place. We're a people who came out of a place, Africa, and we decided to populate the earth. Explore, but within that population, within that populating the earth, we decided to explore. We did things that were unknown, unreachable by a whole lot of people. So, and your brain proves it. Novelty, anything genuinely new, fires the same dopamine reward, whether it's in the Himalayas or a new neighborhood. In this city, especially in this city, that you've never even driven through. The hit comes from newness, not the attitude, the altitude. It comes from being in a place that's new. There's even a reason summers felt endless when you were 9, 10 years old. Now a whole new year later, everything vanishes. When everything's familiar, your brain just compresses it and barely records it. Newness is what makes time feel full again. So adventure at your size isn't second place. It's literally how you get more out of your life out of the same number of days that you're living. Think about it. What it looks like for if you're a woman, what does it look like for you? In Milwaukee, solo dinner, whatever, phone down on purpose, the first flight by yourself, road trip to a town you've never seen with no plan. And the big one for us is the passport. Just apply is step one. You don't need the trip book. You need the document that says, I'm the kind of person of the world. I'm the kind of person that the world is going to open up to. So get yours. Get your teenagers, get your kids' passports, and make it a family project instead of a family fantasy. Allow yourself to do things that you're looking to, that you look on social media and think that I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to get there. Get off of social media and get on with your life. So it's a very interesting video I ran across. It's about is about this plane swap. And it was a Red Bull plane swap. And there's a reason why I'm bringing this up, because for these two people, they're cousins. And they decided to get into this stunt. They've done a number of jumps, but they decided to advertise Red Bull and then also do a plane swap in midair. Now, it's a little far. That's a little far-fetched, but they decided to knock this out. Same idea. Because when you push your extreme, the whole world becomes an oyster. I mean that literally. We are at this place in our lives, especially in Milwaukee, where pushing the extreme is a possibility. So Red Bull put up this stunt. It's called plane swap. They took two cousins, Luke and Andy. They're lifelong pilots, lifelong skydivers. They flew up in these twin engine Cessnas, 14,000 feet. Put both planes into a straight nosedive. They jumped out of midair, and the plan: skydive down and land in each other's plane. So skydive, switch in midair, switch planes in midair. Nobody in human history has ever done it. And here's the honest part that matters. It only half worked. One of the cousins skydived into the other plane, took the controls, basically landed it clean in Arizona. But the other cousin's plane, he couldn't get in. So he had to pull his parachute and he floated down. And the plane crashed. Nobody was hurt. But here's the lesson. Because this is the whole point of adventure at any size. That plane swap started as a little sketch on a piece of paper. Literally on a piece of paper. So, and it made like a magazine cover. Like this is a part of adventure that I think we as a people are missing. Imagine it. Sketching something out and then doing it is a part of manifestation. So the rest of their story, they jumped out of planes 21,000 times. And I'm sure they didn't wake up and think, man, this is impossible. They woke up and was like, man, we need to push this bar a little further. And so until the idea became a little oyster that they carried around. So is danger the goal? Nah. It's that every time you go one notch past what scared you, the whole map of what's possible for you gets larger and larger. They pushed swapping planes to the max until the sky was on the table. You push until the solo flight is on the table, then the passport, then the country you never thought you'd stand in. Some law of nature is just your altitude. That's it. The world opens up. The world actually opens up as wide as you're willing to push the edge. I think, honestly, if we had to think about this entire thing, what we're supposed to do as a people, as many times as we have car chases in Milwaukee and people, putting their lives in danger and, fights on the street and you name it. If we're able to understand where to put our energy, then we would be conquering these, and not saying that these people are our role models. But if we're looking at the level of adventure, we can not only do the same thing, but we can do things and push things further than everyone else in the world. We look at basketball, you look at baseball, we look at football. Football has never been more athletic than it is now. Basketball has never been more athletic and more record-breaking than it is now. Baseball has never been athletic and more record-breaking than it is now. We're looking at hockey, track, all these places where human desire, passion has blown up to superhuman extent. We were always the people in the forefront. Jazz, in terms of music, looking at jazz, all levels of instruments, every instrument you can think of. Every instrument you can think of, you'll find a person of color in front of that particular instrument. And this is what is possible for us. This may not be the best topic for us to listen to today, but I think it's one of the most important topics that we need to address as a people, especially here in Milwaukee. Because we have so much potential. We have people, if you ride up and down certain streets, you'll find bar, church, fast food, bar, church, fast food, bar, church, fast food, bar, church, fast food. And why? Why? Because the goal of each of those places is to keep you in the box. That is the goal. But then the person thinking out of the box will do something completely different to change the norm of the topography, the environment that they live in, that everybody in that place around that area lives in. Because we know what's possible for us, and we've got the receipts, names, numbers. Black folks standing on top of exact places they told weren't ours are ours. And I'm gonna prove it to y'all. There's some names that I'm gonna mention in the next 3 minutes. I need y'all to tune in and listen to. We'll be back on the award-winning Truth.
You're invited to summer's biggest celebration. Join Wisconsin State Fair in celebrating 175 years of memories together. Get your tickets today at wistatefair.com. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by T-Mobile, August 6th through 16th.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables. Roll up your windows. Don't leave your car running unattended. Lock your doors and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
One for the money, yes sir, two for the show. A couple of years ago, on Headland and the low, what's the starter? Something good, where me and my rode the martyr through the hood, just trying to find that hook up. Now every day we looked up at the ceiling, watching ceiling fans go round, trying to catch that feeling off instrumental. Had my pencil and plus my paper, we caught the 86 fly on your headed to Decatur, writing rhymes, trying to find our spot off in that light off in that spot, knowing that we can rock, doing the hole in the
Yes,
ball
welcome back to the Grapevine. I'm your host, Manan Sabir. What the business is. Looking to discover and support local businesses in our community. And then make sure you tune in every Friday at 8 a.m. to Truth in the Morning with Homer Blow and Bailey Coleman for What the Business Is, powered by We Energies. Each week, you'll hear from local business owners as they share what their business is, where they're located, and one valuable lesson they've learned along the way. We Energies is proud to help power local businesses and the communities they serve. Don't miss What the Business Is every Friday at 8 a.m. only on Truth in the Morning with Homer Blow and Bailey Coleman, powered by We Energies, delivering the energy that powers local business. And we're talking about adventure. This is Black Adventure Week. And, I've got a little science and history for you. Now we got the proof. Real people, real names. Because it's for us too. It's not just a hope. It's a fact with a little bit of roll call. So we got this lady by the name of Sophia Denenberg, first Black woman to stand on top of Mount Everest. Matthew Henson, North Pole, 1909, arguably the first, and of the history books. Manoa Anu and the Full Circle Everest team, the first all-Black team to take on Everest, Mount Everest, together, a team, a whole team. Barrington Irving, straight out of Miami. Kid flew solo around the world. One of the youngest to ever do it. Did it to show kids in Miami, in the neighborhood, that the sky was theirs. These people are not exceptions to the rule. They are the rule. They're just what normal looks like once the gate is locked, once the gate is unlocked. The only thing they did was refused other people's scripts. They tossed everybody else's script away, and they did what they had to do. I'm going to tell you about Tara Roberts. We're going to talk about Tara. Look, we got that video played up.
Tara Roberts. We first met her when her underwater journeys to find lost slave ships made the cover of National Geographic, where she is an explorer in residence. Now she's sharing more about her experiences in her new book, out this morning. It is called Written in the Water.
I appreciate
Tara.
it. We can cut it right there. Think about it. And I saved this one for you because specifically for my sisters out there. Specifically for y'all. Because everybody else I named climbed up and flew out. This woman went into the ocean. And what she's bringing back is you see it. What she's bringing back is wrecking everybody else's thought in the best way. Her name, Tara Roberts. A real life National Geographic explorer. First Black woman on the cover of that magazine as an explorer. The first Black woman, an explorer, a storyteller, a scholar. This is the part I need y'all to hear how it happened. Because I can I can sit here and honestly give you news about her, but it'll behoove me not to do it. We got to give you what she's about. Living in D.C. 2016, she walks to the National Museum of African American History and Culture and sees one photograph. A group of scuba divers on a boat, mostly black women smiling. So it was just a photo and just stopped her right there in her tracks. So she finds out who these women are. They're part of a group called Diving with Purpose. Black divers who go down, search for wrecks of slave ships, because here's the history that nobody sat us down and told. Over the 400 years of the Atlantic slave trade, an estimated, very probably loose, 1,000 ships carrying our ancestors sank. They went to the bottom of the ocean. More than 1.8 million African people. No grave markers in the water. Most of them never named, never mourned, and never found. Tara Roberts, a journalist with a great job in D.C., quit, learned to scuba dive, and from scratch gave her life to going down into the deep to find these lost slave ships, to document the wrecks, to raise their names and their stories back up into light with love, with honor, with respect. That's how you're supposed to do it. That's how you're supposed to do it. Now, put that up against everything I said today. We talked about the will to move being in our blood. This lady dives into the same oceans our ancestors were dragged across in chains on. And she does it as a free black woman by choice, with this little tube on her back. The same water that was the site of the worst thing that ever happened to us. She turned it into a place to reclaim people's lives. Straight up. So this is not an adventure. That's adventure as healing. To quit her job and to do what she's doing now is absolutely healing. And that's going deep. That's going deep, deep, deep to bring your people home. If you stand here, and here's the thing. We know the majority of those ships that traveled, if you ever been on the Atlantic or around the Atlantic, if you stand on the coast of Florida, you'll find that the trade winds hit you in the face all the time. So the transatlantic slave ship, those ships didn't even have to put up a sail if they didn't want to, because the current would take them there. The wind would blow behind the ships. Very, very simple. A lot of times you can stand on the coast of Florida and Georgia, on the coast of Georgia, and find what? You'll find that the sand, even the sand would hit you, will hit you in the face from the Sahara. The sub-Saharan sand would hit you in the face at certain times of the summer in Georgia and also Florida. For real. That's exactly what happens. So diving with purpose, these people train every single day. Kids as young as 16, they do this work. So this isn't a superhero story that you have to watch. You can actually join. It's a real life invitation. Somebody's teenager in this city who thinks the water is not for them could grow up to be the one who finds the ship and names the ancestors on it. We have a lake. We have a lake right next to us. Right next to us. That where people do scuba dive. You can learn to scuba dive at a local gym with a pool and then go out and learn to scuba dive and then take it even further to take your talents to the oceans and do the same exact thing. But this is the part of us being able to take adventure and or take our skill sets and push them as far as we possibly can. There's something in adventure that allows people to see what even in their daily job, that allows you to use the skill set of being adventurous, using that skill set to push your life further, to have purpose, have meaning. A lot we sit and we wait. There's no waiting. There's no waiting with adventure because you're always chasing something. So I got to honor this, honestly. When we come back, I want to talk about a story that I ran across a couple of days ago, and it was about some climbers. And if you guys could probably hear, like I'm that outdoors person. I like the outdoors. I like being outdoors and being in the woods and being on the mountain and all of that. And there's a certain respect you have to have with nature and for nature in order to be in that place. So yes, there's this next story is not as sad. It's sad, but there's a time and place to really tell this story. And I think this story really is going to hit home because it's a story about a Nepalese Sherpa, and he took his team to this place called Broad Peak in Pakistan, and they wound up encountering an avalanche. And there was about 10 climbers in this group of individuals that were climbing up this peak. Very, very experienced climbers. Before you climb up, you do go through training, a lot of training before you are able to climb the various peaks on mountains. So when I come back, I'm going to tell you the rest of the story. We'll be back in 3. This is the award-winning The Truth 1017.
In Milwaukee County, equity means making sure everyone has a real chance to thrive. That's why the Milwaukee County Office of Equity works to help remove barriers, strengthen community connections, and support fair access to opportunities across Milwaukee County. Want to learn what they do, explore resources, or find ways to get involved? Just search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online. Milwaukee County Office of Equity, advancing equity for all Milwaukee County residents. For more information, search Milwaukee County Office of Equity online.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityInvestments.com. Media giants are tying themselves in knots trying to gain and keep people's attention. Former Netflix Chief Marketing Officer Bozoma St. John says audiences rarely pay full attention to just one screen at a time anymore.
Look, they can be watching a show and realize that they love the fashion, they love the sneakers a person is wearing, and be on their phone searching for that sneaker.
She says that media companies win if they focus on reaching consumers on multiple platforms.
So even if you have something that hovers over the program or hovers over the short-term content and takes them outside of your world, what you're trying to do is make sure that they come back.
Outside of her work as an executive for companies like Netflix, Uber, and Apple Music, St. John also co-launched a viral campaign on social media back in 2020 to help amplify Black women's perspectives on systemic racism. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Yes, welcome back. Yes, welcome back. You got to get up, get out, and get something. This is the truth. And if you're going to come to the Truth Family Fest, mark your calendars. Join us for Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 22nd from 11 to 2 at Riverside University High School. It's free and fun for the entire family. We got great music, community resources, family activities, and back-to-school support to help students get ready for a successful year. And if you're interested in volunteering, visit the Truth's website at 1017thetruth.com to complete the volunteer form or by emailing Sierra.Brown@MilwaukeeBlackMedia. That's Cierra.Brown@MilwaukeeBlackMedia. Bring the entire family and experience one of Milwaukee's favorite community celebrations, True Family Fest, Saturday, August 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And special thanks to Educators Credit Union, American Family Insurance, Milwaukee Public Schools, Artists Working in Education, City of Milwaukee, Department of Community Wellness and Safety, and Ascension for making this possible. Love it. So today we're talking about adventure. This is the Black Adventure Week. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I got news for you tomorrow also, but something was on my mind, and I decided to really give everybody a kind of a look at what adventure for Black people is, what it's about. This is Mindful Motivation Mondays. And if you're listening, remind yourself to push the ticket. It may be a Monday, but you're already planning what to do for next week or this weekend. You're already planning. Oh man, I need to go somewhere. Let's jet out of here. I'm at work. It's work. Work is work. I gotta get out. Time to go. All right, cool. Get out of here. Bounce. Make it happen. But plan an adventure. We got a lot of stuff in Wisconsin that you can do for yourself. A lot of adventures around here. So before I went to break, I was discussing about a Nepalese guy from Nepal. He was a Sherpa, but a very, very world famous Sherpa. He led a group of 10 people, 10 climbers in this place called in Pakistan on a mountain called Broad Peak. So it's like one of the areas on a mountain, and all 10 died. Yep. Including the guy's name was Normal Porja. He was one of the greatest Sherpas ever to live, one of the greatest guides, I should say. And he roped together, all these people were roped together, a Nepali person, a Omani person, American, a Chinese, every color, every faith, going up together, and they died exploring the unknown. So let's roll that clip real quick.
This is the team near base camp at the bottom of Broad Peak, days before they set out on what would be their final ascent. The expedition was led by celebrated Nepali-born climber Nimral Pooja, known as Nims, who rose to fame after scaling all 14 of the world's 8,000-meter-plus mountains in just over 6 months. The last record took nearly 8 years. Broad Peak is in the Karakoram Range, straddling the border between Pakistan and China. The mountain is regarded as one of the more challenging for climbers and is the 12th highest summit in the world. On the morning of July 30th, the team was on the western ridge of Broad Peak, between Camp 2 and 3, at around 6,600 meters. GPS tracking data indicated the avalanche struck shortly after 9 a.m. local time, sweeping the 10 climbers down the mountain's west-facing gully.
Oh my God.
These pictures were filmed from base camp. Search and rescue operations began. Pakistan's military deployed helicopters, and ground teams scrambled to respond. On Friday, rescuers said 4 bodies had been found. Heavy snowfall temporarily suspended rescue operations before they resumed. The global climbing community held its breath waiting for news of Nims and the other climbers. Then, on Saturday, the news they had been dreading. In a statement posted on social media, Nims's company, Elite Expeditions, confirmed all 10 of the climbers had died.
It's with profound sadness and immense heartbreak that we confirm Nirmal Nimsday Pooja tragically lost his life following the avalanche on Broad Peak.
For Fida Ali, it was a narrow escape. The Pakistani guide had set out with the team, but returned to base camp early after a Russian climber was taken ill. The international mountaineering community is mourning the loss of a man who conquered the world's highest peaks and brought the importance of Sherpas to the forefront of the mountaineering world. Joel Evans, Al Jazeera.
Appreciate it. So that's the unknown. And we can complain and talk about what's going on in our little city. We can talk about how things are, we could talk about the teen takeover. We could talk about, the violence over here and all that stuff. But if we're not doing the work, if we're not doing what we're supposed to do for the next person, if we're not looking to extend legacy, then we're working against it. We're hustling backwards. And that's what we shouldn't be doing. We shouldn't be hustling backwards. We should be moving forward. We got, mad parties. A lot of parties. I'm not complaining because I think there's a reason and a way for it. But we got this party and that party. And these, bringing together thousands of people. But imagine if we had a party for our kids. Imagine if we had, because rather than a vain response, our kids would know it's actually for them. Our kids would know it's for them. It's real. We do it a lot. We do it a lot in this city, in Milwaukee. And when there's an example of individuals dying for pushing the ticket, pushing their lives to the very edge, my thought is that if we're able to push our lives to the very edge of legacy building, of extending our compassion, empathy, and love to our community, we can overcome all of this. And I had mentioned just the teen takeovers as one thing. As one thing. Imagine those 2 young kids in Atlanta receiving $50,000. And we know that some of our, I'm daring to say this, but some of our hip hop artists proclaim that on record that they spend 50 in a weekend, 50 in a day. That's crazy. That's wild to me. To spend that amount of money, but then these kids got a right for 50 G's to have a place for young kids to harness their energy. Yep. That's what you call hustling backwards. That's exactly what you call it. We have to do better. Straight up. So these people died exploring the unknown. And in the grief of it, they died actually living fully awake. But here's a question that ties it to everything. How many people die the other way? Never having left the block. Never having left base camp, their foundation. Because somebody convinced them that having that adventure was for other people. Going to the lake, down Center Street, down North Avenue, down Capitol, down Hampton, down Silver Spring, down Lisbon, and whatever other street, down Burnham and Mitchell and all these other places, going east to the lake. How many people have convinced other folks that it wasn't necessary? It wasn't necessary. And to explore just one part of the lake. To explore one part of the lake. You know how many beaches are on Lake Michigan? Between the border of Wisconsin and Chicago and back up north? Hundreds of beaches. Hundreds of beaches. You can explore all of them. You don't have to just go to Bradford Beach for the people that actually venture to the beach. You don't have to just go to whatever part of the lake that you see off the hill, off the Snake Hill. You don't have to do that. Go to different places. You can leave. Somebody convinced somebody that was the place to be. And that's the quiet tragedy. That's the quiet trauma. And it's one we can actually prevent for ourselves and for our kids. So these people that died on this mountain refused the script. The story that they were told, they threw it out and they decided to live their own way. And we all have the ability to live our own way. And that's the point of today. That's it. We can live however we want to live. So y'all live how y'all want to live, and it'll work out. Of course it will. But if you want to go beyond, throw the script away and do what you feel is out of your mind. When someone says it's impossible, go do it, and you'll find out. We're going to come back in 3 minutes. We're going to continue to discuss Mindful Motivation Mondays and why this is Adventure Week for me.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way, improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to healthcare and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
This is a good one. So welcome back to the Grapevine. We're picking some grapes. We're gonna pick a big grape today. This is a Black Adventure Week for me, and we're gonna have a little adventure. This is my adventure because I like when a group gets paid black, as Homer Blow says, paid black. What if I told you that one of the biggest genres in the world may owe what up, Homer? Oh man, hey, Homer's in the studio. Look, I literally just, man, I remember reading it today and I was like, okay, he's coming at 4, but I didn't even recognize that you was here. Thanks, Homer. Appreciate it. But I'm sure, I don't know if you heard this, Homer, but one of the biggest genres in the world may owe its full success to Jamaicans. Watch this. 2 Jamaican producers. And now they're asking the jury one simple question. Did y'all build $1 billion industry on our beat without paying us? So this isn't about reggaeton. This is about Black creativity, intellectual property, and who profits when culture really goes global. So real quick, a federal judge refused to throw out a copyright lawsuit brought by legendary Jamaican producers. Everybody know who these people are. Steely and Cleveland Brown and the estate of Wyclef Johnson. The producers argued that the foundational drum pattern from their 1989 instrumental Fish Market became the backbone of thousands of reggaeton songs without permission. Very deep. So both sides presented very credible expert testimony about whether the rhythm is original enough for copyright protection. The judge ruled the dispute should continue rather than deciding it for himself. So he did not. He continued on. So artists and companies named in named include major reggaeton figures such as Bad Bunny, J Balvin, and a whole lot of other people. They argue that the rhythm evolved from multiple dance hall sources and is too common to belong to any one creator. Very, very deep. So, meaning that if they win this argument, that's millions upon almost $1 billion worth of success. Very, very interesting. And this is the type of adventure that I'm talking about. That if we are adventurous individuals, if we tune into our wanderlust gene, our DRD C7R gene, the gene that got us out of Africa, if we're able to tune into that, if we're able to flip that gene on, then this is the type of thing that helps us become or look at adventure as something that's possible. This is adventurous. For mentally, this is highly adventurous to look at your as Jamaican producers not having anything to lose, argue that the foundational drum pattern from an album, their instrumental Fish Market, to become the backbone to reggaeton. They said there's over 2,000 reggaeton songs. So if they win this, then all of those songs owe a percentage to these individuals, Steely and Clevie. Very, very interesting. And I think this isn't really about reggaeton. We're not gonna come down and tamp down on reggaeton. It's about who owns the culture. Who owns the culture? Because we know all rhythms are African. We all know all rhythms are African. But it's about also, can a rhythm be intellectual property? And this is something for all of us to think about. Can a rhythm be intellectual property? And at what point does inspiration become exploitation? At what point does inspiration become exploitation? Why do the original innovators often struggle financially while others become global superstars? I mean, the writer for, I forgot his name, but the writer for Elvis Presley, he literally went on Johnny Carson and sang the Elvis Presley song. Like, person like that. It reminds me of that scene in Five Heartbeats when they had they were trying to decide on, their album cover and all this other stuff. So, they went to Big Red and his friend or whatever, and they go into the studio and they're sitting down, and the record label guy comes in and he says, we like you guys, but we got somebody who would appeal to the masses. So they bring in the Four Horsemen. I mean, and so they have this album cover. They grab this album cover. They leave out, and the guy who plays not Dresser, but the other guy, like he complains. He's like, they're always double cross, and he shoots the record in the air, and the record comes out. And that's the truth. They're always double crossing the people who create the most in this society. And that's us. We're always the ones who are the canaries in the coal mine. We're always the original innovators. We're always the people who are, we're not the exploitators. We are the exploitees. They exploit us a lot. So it's not about who owns the culture, but can a rhythm be intellectual property? And they're aiming to prove it. How many times have black people created something only to watch somebody else patent it, package it, market it, and become rich from it? For real. How many times? I want you guys to ask yourselves that. Then look at blues and rock and roll, gospel, pop, jazz, modern music, dance hall, reggaeton, hip hop, slang, went to corporate marketing. This is real, man. This is very interesting. We always are the canaries in the coal mine. But when we fall out and when we fly away, or we fall out and and we tell you like this is what's going to happen in the future, i.e. Donald Trump, it's going to happen. So I need y'all to understand that if you are outside this weekend, challenge yourself to do something different. Challenge yourself to make a real pledge to be loud in that difference. This isn't a segment that you just are listening to. This is a call to action. This is your call to action. Get started today. Come back next week sometime. Tell me about it. The wild doesn't care where our people are from and never did. The horizon is calling our name. Make sure you do what you're supposed to do. Get that passport. Travel around the world. Expand your horizons. If I haven't told you once, I'll tell you again. I love y'all. I love you. I love you. We have Jazz. Tap in with Jazz next with the Homer Blow. Oh my gosh. Let's go. We'll be back.